Hello everyone, this is Troop Gaming. So ever since the new Sizzle Season trailer, there have been talk of challenges that Nintendo is adding to the game. Well, they've only shown off 3, and I've thought of a ton more ideas. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, of the 3 challenges that they showed off in the trailer, the first one that they're calling is Too Many Try-Zookas. What it seems like happens is that in this mode, is that after a little bit, everybody will just get their Try-Zookas and they can use them all at once. So I've thought of a few more of these specials only type battles. Some of them are Zipcasters only, Crab Tanks only, Inkjets only, and Wave Breakers only. For Inkjets only and Zipcasters only, basically, once you spawn in, you have your special and you can use it throughout the entire game. If you get splatted, it works as normal, where you just respawn, and there's no recall, so you're just flying around or Spider-Manning around the whole map and shooting everyone. Now, with Zipcasters only, I was kind of thinking that you had to use Zipcaster weapons like you did with Too Many Try-Zookas, but if you did, then we would never have the fun of Swiffer with Zipcaster or Splash-O-Matic with Zipcaster. So maybe they should allow you to use all the weapons, but I'm not sure that they would actually do that if they did Zipcasters only. And with Crab Tanks only, I'm thinking that you should have to use Crab Tank weapons, but after a few seconds, everybody just gets their Crab Tanks, and you have them for the entire match until you die or they get broken. And if they get broken, you have to wait a few seconds before you can get another Crab Tank. Wave Breakers only would work a little bit different. The way I'm thinking that it would work is there's just a whole bunch of Wave Breakers scattered across the map, and they'll just make waves of certain colors, and they'll just flip every once in a while. This way that each team will have to jump over their waves. Maybe they'll switch if the enemy team gets the objective past a certain point. Like in Rainmaker, they might flip if they get to the checkpoint or something. Another thing that I've thought of that they could do is sub-weapons only. Now this obviously wouldn't work with certain subs like Point Sensor, Toxic Mist, and maybe Sprinkler. But I still think that they could do it. Some of the ones that would be fun would probably be Angle Shooters only, Torpedoes only, Fizzy Bombs only. Another idea that I had is where everybody has the Rainmaker. This would kind of be fun since the Rainmaker can't run out of ink, and I'm thinking that these things wouldn't run out of ink either. But if they were to do this in Rainmaker, then they would have to make the Rainmakers that everybody has look different than the objective Rainmaker. But otherwise, I think this would be really fun. For the next battle idea that I have, I call it Hyperspeed. This one, basically what it does is it gives you Tacticooler buffs even when you don't have Tacticooler, plus some extra mains of run speed and swim speed. Basically, it makes you like super crazy fast, and it just sounds crazy to me, especially if you were to put it on Rainmaker and make somebody who's crazy fast hold the Rainmaker, and they'd be swimming at normal speed. Also, Chargers would probably have a hard time, but we can forget about Chargers, right? Nobody in here is a Charger main. All of the battle ideas that I've thought of so far mostly just affect the player. So, in the trailer, they showed one that makes the stage foggy like it is in Salmon Run. So I've thought of a few that affect the stage as well. The first battle type that I've thought of like this makes the stage shrink after a while. Not like it makes the water rise or anything, but basically what happens is, sort of like how in Battle Royale games, there's like some toxic mist or whatever that appears on the outside of the stage, and it forces all the players to the middle. This is what I'm thinking. All the players after a certain number of time will be forced to the middle. Obviously this would only work on certain modes like Clam Blitz, Splat Zones, and Turf War. For my next idea, all of the stage has ice physics, sort of like World 3 in the story mode. The way I'm thinking that this would work is, the ice can still be inked over, but it would still have ice physics. So, if you're like, even if you ink it over, the stage will still feel icy when you walk on it, and you'll slip around everywhere. I'm kind of curious to see how it would feel on walls, if you're trying to like squid surge up a wall or just climb up a wall in general. And I think that this mode would be really fun on things like Rainmaker and Clam Blitz, where the objective is more tied to a person than tied to something on the map. My next idea makes the water rise, sort of like what the opposite of what it does in Mahi Mahi Resort, or more like in Salmon Run. The only thing with this is that some of the maps are going to need to be slightly changed to the point where you can still traverse the map even after the water has risen to a certain point. Otherwise, I think that this mode would be fine. The next idea that I had adds industrial squeegees from Splatoon 2's story mode. This would make it so that you could get to other places on the map that you normally couldn't get to, and I think that would make it really fun. You would also be running from these giant squeegees that are uninking the place, and it would just be a lot of fun, especially on modes like Clam Blitz or Tower Control. The only real problem I can see is putting them in modes like Turf War or Splat Zones, where they'll un-ink the ground, which is the goal, and that would just make it really annoying. But otherwise, I can see this being really fun. My next idea for a challenge mode makes the players either big or small. Honestly, I think that small would be more fun. Even though it would be a pain in the butt for chargers, I think it would be more fun if everybody was small. But big would be okay too. My final idea is giving everyone the ability to dodge roll, whether or not they're using drop roller or they're using dualies. Now this would only give everyone the ability to dodge roll once before having to stop. But in order to make dualies not useless, I've decided to give them all an extra dodge roll. So any dualie that's not Tetras gets 3 and Tetras will get 5. This would make it so that dualies aren't just useless now. I think this mode would be really fun, especially for slower weapons like chargers and blasters that really need mobility. This dodge rolling thing would give them a new option to move. So, yeah, those are all my challenge ideas. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a like and subscribe. Well, this is Truth Gaming, signing off.